What if I told you? The people most capable of destroying you are not the ones who openly hate you, but the ones who smile when you walk into the room. Not the rival across the battlefield, but the friend sitting quietly at your side. The ones who know your dreams, your fears, your weaknesses, because you let them in. They don't need to attack you head-on. They can dismantle you from within, and they will, not with shouts, not with open betrayal, but with small, deliberate acts, hidden in kindness, wrapped in loyalty, and delivered over months or years. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He knew that the wrong friend beside you is more dangerous than 10 enemies in front of you, because enemies sharpen your defenses, but friends lower them. And in that moment, when your guard is down and your trust is high, that's when the knife slips in.
Hey guys, we're Strategy, based in Abu Dhabi. We use AI tools to make these concepts come to life, but it's our amazing team who goes deep, breaking down powerful philosophical ideas and showing how they really apply in everyday life. We hope you enjoyed today's content.
They wear smiles like masks, perfectly shaped, flawlessly convincing, hiding intentions you will only recognize when it's too late. Their words drip with warmth. Their tone is soft, inviting. As they mirror your beliefs, echo your values, even applaud your victories. But it's all a performance. Because the moment your back is turned, those smiles dissolve into calculation, and the applause becomes silence. A silence that carries weight, the weight of envy, resentment, and carefully hidden contempt. These are not friends. They are predators disguised as companions, parasites cloaked in the language of loyalty, feeding not on your weakness, but on your strength, draining the very energy that made them seek you out in the first place. Machiavelli, the ruthless anatomist of human nature, warned of these people centuries ago. He did not speak of them with kindness. He offered no illusions of hope. His words were edged like a blade, forged in fire, tempered by suspicion, and delivered with surgical precision, because in the realm of power, loyalty is never given freely. It is bartered, bought, and above all, weaponized. And the wrong friend at your side is not merely a risk. They are a loaded weapon, pointed not by your enemies, but by your own trust. And when that moment comes, when the weapon fires, it will be more devastating than 10 enemies charging you head-on, because this one was close enough to aim for your heart. Machiavelli understood a truth most people are too afraid to admit, that the majority of alliances are not born from sincerity, but from necessity. They don't stand beside you because of who you are. They stand there because of what you give. They love the status you bring them, the way your name opens doors they could never unlock alone. They love the safety you provide, the shield your presence offers, protecting them from dangers they could never face without you. And they love the sense of superiority you unknowingly grant them, because in standing next to your strength, they feel stronger themselves, without ever having earned it. But here is the fracture in their loyalty. It is not rooted in respect. It is rooted in reward. And the moment that reward fades, the instant your light no longer benefits their shadow, their loyalty will vanish. No arguments, no warnings, just a quiet shift from ally to liability. If you keep these people close, you will not be undone by your enemies. They are loud, predictable, and easy to defend against. No, you will be sabotaged by the ones who swore allegiance with hollow hearts, who clasped your hand in friendship while measuring the perfect place to drive the knife. The first threat, the silent competitor. They present themselves as your biggest supporter. They stand in the crowd when you speak. They clap when you win. but something in their presence never sits right. Their compliments arrive late, as if dragged out of them by obligation rather than pride. Their congratulations feel hollow, words that sound warm but carry no heat. And in the moments you shine the brightest, you'll see it. A flicker in their eyes, a dimming of their spirit, like a candle struggling against the light of a bigger flame. They don't hate you, they want to be you, and that is far more dangerous, because envy doesn't declare war with banners and drums. It seeps in quietly, turning admiration into resentment, resentment into calculation. They will never strike openly. Instead, they plant small seeds. A subtle remark that downplays your achievement, a carefully timed suggestion that sends someone in a different direction, a conversation turned ever so slightly against you when you're not in the room. And when misfortune finds you, they smile a little longer than they should. Machiavelli would warn, if someone praises you when you fall and goes silent when you rise, they are waiting for you to stumble, waiting for the moment they can step over your shoulder and into the space you fought to build. The second threat, the perpetual victim. They approach you with eyes heavy from sorrow, voices softened by practiced weariness. There is always a crisis, always a fresh wound, always a reason why today. They need your time, your energy, your attention. At first you feel noble for helping them. You tell yourself it's kindness, it's loyalty, it's what friends do. But slowly the pattern becomes clear. Their pain is not a storm passing through. It is the climate they choose to live in. They have learned the oldest manipulation of all, guilt as a leash. Every sigh, every story, every subtle reminder of how much they depend on you tightens that leash around your neck. And the more you give, the weaker you become. Your time drains, your focus blurs, your own ambitions begin to fade, buried beneath the endless task of carrying someone who refuses to stand on their own. And here is the cruelty. When you finally stumble under the weight, when exhaustion forces you to put them down, they will not thank you for all the years you carried them. Number. They will look at the one moment you couldn't be there, and they will call you selfish. They will say you weren't enough. They will make your exhaustion the crime, and their dependence the evidence. Machiavelli would see them for what they are, emotional leeches, thriving not on your failures, but on your strength, until they've bled it dry. They are the chameleons of your circle, every word, every gesture, carefully tuned to the room they're in. When they're with you, they believe what you believe. They speak your language, mirror your tone, reflect your values so perfectly you mistake imitation for loyalty. But loyalty isn't in their nature. Adaptation is. Their values shift like sand in the wind, firm when you look directly at them, gone the moment you turn away. To your face, they speak one truth. Behind your back, they speak another. And both are convincing, because loyalty for them is not a principle. It's a costume. They wear it when it serves them, tear it off when it doesn't, and slip into a new mask depending on who holds the power in the moment. You will not see their betrayal coming. They will smile as they help you build, stand beside you in every photograph, clap the loudest when the room is watching. But when the tide shifts, when a better opportunity arrives, they will not hesitate. You won't even know where they stand until you see where they've moved, and by then, it will be too late. Because when the shapeshifter makes their choice, it is never to stand beside you. It is to stand over you, holding the knife you never saw coming. These three, the silent competitor, the perpetual victim, the shapeshifter, they are not coincidences, they are not bad luck, they are tests. deliberate, unavoidable trials woven into the fabric of your life, and most fail. They fail because the act required to pass feels cruel. Because cutting off a friend feels like cutting out a piece of themselves. But Machiavelli's world, and yours, is not built to reward sentimentality. It rewards only three things: clarity, to see them for what they are without excuse; precision, to act without hesitation when the truth is revealed; ruthlessness, when necessary, not born from malice, but from the understanding that survival is not always kind. This is not about hating them. It's about protecting you, because in the realm of power, the difference between a king and a casualty is how quickly they remove a threat once they recognize it. True power does not come from the size of your circle. It comes from how few within it have the power to harm you. The moment someone reveals their true nature, do not argue, do not plead, do not negotiate, act. Cut them off, cleanly, silently, permanently. No warnings, no long speeches, no final one last chance. Just absence, an empty space where you used to be, and let that absence haunt them like a ghost. Let your silence speak in a language sharper than words. Let it remind them and the world exactly who you are. Because the most devastating message you can send is the one you never have to say out loud. Because here's the truth Machiavelli understood. Real betrayal is not a sudden explosion. It doesn't arrive with shouts, slammed doors, or a dagger in full view. It is quiet, it is patient, it is precise. It moves like a shadow at the edge of your vision, always there, but never close enough for you to name it. It is slow, a drip of doubt here, a subtle omission there. It is consistent, woven into small, harmless gestures, until those gestures form a pattern you can no longer ignore. And it always wears the most disarming disguise of all, the face of someone you once trusted without question, someone who knew your rhythms, your weaknesses, your secrets, and who, when the moment came, used that knowledge not to protect you, but to dismantle you from the inside. So audit your circle, not casually, not someday. Do it now. And when you find the ones who don't belong, be ruthless. You don't need more people. You need fewer, sharper ones. You don't need the loudest voices in the room. You need silent loyalty. The kind that stands firm without applause, without constant reassurance, without the need to be seen. And above all, you do not need a single soul who makes your future feel heavier than your past. Cut them off. No hesitation, no ceremony. Stand taller, move faster. Let them watch from below as you rise, higher, clearer, and completely alone, if that's what it takes. Because Machiavelli never told you to be liked, he told you to win. And in the game of power, likability is a luxury, victory is survival. In the end, the kingdom you're building, whether it's your career, your business, or your life itself, will not be destroyed by the armies outside your walls, but by the whispers inside them. Power is not lost in a single moment. It erodes quietly through tolerated weakness, misplaced trust, and the belief that loyalty can survive without alignment. You cannot afford that illusion. Cut what needs to be cut. Close the doors that must remain closed, and guard the gates of your mind, because every person you allow in is either reinforcing your walls or mapping the exits. Machiavelli never asked you to be fair. He never asked you to be gentle. He asked you to be effective. So remember this: the greatest power you will ever have is not the ability to fight those who oppose you, but the discipline to remove those who pretend to stand beside you. Rise without them, build without them, And when they finally realize they've lost their place in your world, let your silence answer their questions.
Thanks for spending time with us. If this sparked a new way of thinking, hit like and subscribe to keep the ideas flowing. And don't forget, check the description for the links to the original books and resources we used today. We'll see you in the next one.